Why do you think everyone's realizing the power of pictures over words?
I think everyone lives in such a cluttered world that we don't, it's very hard to communicate information. There's so much we need to communicate and so much we need to receive that's very tricky to break through the clutter, and visuals do a great job of that. I think visual storytelling, in my view, there are two huge benefits. One is processing information when you're hearing something and how you put a bit of yourself into it. I was trained to take notes like a court stenographer, and when you're writing down exactly what you hear, it's regurgitation, you're not really processing it. But when you're doing visual note taking, you find yourself putting a bit of yourself into the process and taking an idea you hear and grafting it onto a few of your own in order to make something actually bigger. And the second big benefit is in communication. I did a cartoon once that I called Idea Camouflage, and it has somebody standing up at a podium saying, here's a remarkable idea whittled down to 127 monochromatic slides. I'll read word by word for the next 90 minutes. And I think people do a lot of idea camouflage, but visuals have an amazing capacity to communicate an idea in a really raw way that's incredibly powerful.
How do you succeed in that kind of high productivity rate of consistently turning out good work? I mean, is there a lot of stuff that falls by the wayside that's not good enough to make it to air, or what?
There is. I think the key to any idea process is to come up with far many more ideas than you actually need, and then you go through an editing screen. I remember a few years ago I heard a cartoonist talk, and he was saying he had this fear when he started out, much like I did, that he would someday that his idea process was like a well, and someday it would run dry. And he realized over time that it was actually much more like a muscle. And provided he kept exercising it, the idea process tended to come. And I find that whenever I'm sitting at my drafting table or I'm sitting in my usual places to come up with ideas, I have it's such a habit for me. The ideas start to come the moment I put my pencil down and start scribbling. It might take some time, but sooner or later it will start to come. Whereas if I go through a block of time where I haven't done much idea generation, it gets harder and harder over time.